like a crazy mold growing on that. You see that? Whoa. I could live with this though, I'm telling you that right now. It's foam, the sponge soaks it up and then it just spreads. So I actually really don't like foam. It's just really cheap looking and they made the right call to tear it out. This right here is kind of a nightmare situation of a mantle.
Say it's here where our pieces fall in place. Any rain, softly kisses us on the face. Any wind means we're running.
Welcome back over here to the channel, guys. I'm at my first stop for the morning. I've got 3 stops so far today, and this beauty of a home is a house that my buddy Brent Hull built, which you guys know if you follow the channel. He's a master builder, and this house proves why. This is a beautiful Georgian home, interior, exterior, done up in the Georgian style. It's beautiful. But here I've got to stop and meet with the project manager. He is going to be showing me something that needs fixing. I don't really know exactly. He just said meet me here this morning. So he's become a good friend as well, my buddy Chris. And we are going to see what we need to get into here. And then secondly, I've got to stop around the corner. That's literally like a quarter mile away, if that even. No, this is like 3 houses down over here. We've got to repair there. Then after that, I'm going to meet with a client of ours that we've already done some work for, and I'll show you what we've done. If I can get in, there's painters in there now, but it's some cabinet modifications. And this is something that I've recently gotten into with the help of my buddy Tom, who you've seen helping me on a lot of these jobs lately. He's a master carpenter, and he knows a lot about cabinetry. And I hadn't really been interested in cabinetry really until I met him and kind of seen his machinery, his shop, and what we could do. So I've kind of gained interest in cabinetry. I've always loved cabinets. Like, I appreciate a beautiful cabinet, but I've never had the interest to like want to build one. I've always just been like, I like doing what I do. You know, the mantles, the wainscot, the paneling, that's my stuff. But having this extra skill of learning cabinetry, which I've been learning really a lot from Tom over these last really 2 years, has been like a secret weapon to kind of push me in that direction. So we traditionally haven't done cabinetry here with my little small business, but that's changing. Now, we wouldn't do anything like as big as a kitchen. I don't have an interest in that right now. I don't think I ever really will. I'll just leave that to the big shops. We are doing vanities. We're doing modifications, which is what we're doing here, changing drawer fronts and doors, and building kind of small stuff. My guy's pulling up now. Let's see what we're going to get into here at this first stop.
So right here's one. We'll just double check that area.
We're going to climb up there and look at this right now, just to see.
Yeah, we can go out and check out the porch and kind of look at it, and then we can look out through the window so you can get out. There's 2 dormers up here. You can crawl out through that dormer and get up on this flat roof. It's just very challenging.
Yeah.
It's very challenging. It's almost easier to throw a ladder or whatever. Maybe we build scaffold right here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thought on that. Jonathan, if y'all want to do your thing, man, I'll help y'all back up.
Well, there's definitely some repair work here for sure. And that looks like a crazy mold growing on that. You see that?
Yeah.
So you think this is all backed up from tree debris?
No doubt.
Just causing it?
No doubt. So
There's another crazy piece of mold right there. You see that black thing?
I sure do.
That's all gotta come out, that whole piece right there.
Agreed.
It doesn't look like it goes down into this bed molding too much. Like, that bed molding looks really solid. It just looks like it's splitting.
Sure.
Which could be a little bit of moisture back there.
Right.
But it's definitely not rotted out like that one.
Right. Yeah, no, it's working its way out where it can. And then the rest of it's just moving along with that extra moisture.
Yep. It's getting into this panel too.
Yeah. Here's my photo of how clogged that leaf gutter was right there.
Whoa.
So
like
this
that,
is just
you know?
home maintenance, right?
Yeah, you
And
gotta
as
clean
that
those
gutter
out.
gets clogged, the water can't flow, and heavier downpours, it just works over. So
Have you traced where it's getting in yet? Or is it kind of too crazy to see without cleaning it off?
This is outside that dormer window, and so just like this whole outside corner is just caked with leaves.
It's definitely that debris, 100%. If it was shedding how it should have, there would be no question. This would be clear. If I had to throw a number out, I'd say 50 grand, man. No. But you are right about nothing being on the inside. That is really good.
Solid news.
Yeah, because this is a lot more expensive to repair inside of here. Wow, I don't think I ever saw that. That thing's beautiful.
Yeah. I think that just needs a paint job up there. If we can double check it, these kind of returns on this gable end here.
Yep. That looks like just a paint detail.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the, what is that, southwest?
So this is almost due west. Literally due west.
Wow. So this is getting a ton of sun.
Absolutely. A little different.
Yeah, that one's showing super rotted, actually.
That's showing a little different.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get into that too. There's no doubt.
And that's going to be a scaffold thing, because you can't really lean a ladder there and work comfortably.
You don't want to. You want to lean a ladder.
So I'll have to build up 3 layers here,
Oh yeah.
take that gutter off, and then get behind it. So when I do all that, take all that off, at that point, we need to see what's actually causing it, and then
100%.
you know, because I don't see any leaves back here.
Yeah, it looks blown off now, but you can see there's a leaf guard on it, and of course that inside corner catch
Yeah.
and the fin. So it's coming down that valley. It's certainly collecting there, and it's either rushing too heavily in the point that it's working its way out, or it's being consolidated. So.
It's even trailing a little bit down. I see that in the corner of that big freeze board.
Yeah, it's almost like we don't have a good enough connection from the bottom side of that roof into the gutter. It seems like it's able to work its way back out underneath it.
And while I have the scaffold built, I can check up on top of these too.
Yep.
You know,
Please.
because those though just look like peeling, like
Agreed.
like sunlight,
more weathering.
sun heat. I mean, I could live with this though. I'm telling you that right now.
This'll work.
I don't know if I could afford the maintenance or taxes, but I could definitely.
What's your bill? 50 grand?
So that is going to be a pretty substantial repair, setting up scaffold, removing gutters, removing existing moldings, but it's definitely one that we can handle. So I just love working on these houses, even if it's a repair like this. But let's go over to our next stop. Here's our next stop right here, and John is already waiting for me. So we've got it's like a 5 1/4 inch beaded. So I cut this out with a multi-tool to chase the leak, and we found that there's foam up here. Now the problem with foam and leaks is that foam is essentially a sponge. So if you get a leak in one place, rather than it just, you know, kind of showing itself immediately and deteriorating that one piece of millwork or drywall, wherever it is, this foam, the sponge soaks it up and then it just spreads. So I actually really don't like foam for this reason specifically. The house we were at this morning, it also had a similar leak where somebody shot in the original build, someone shot a nail through a pipe. Same exact thing, slow leak, foam spread. I actually did a video on that one. I have a full 16 to work with, and we could take it to the next kind of clean break. And you can see where these black tapes are. All those joints are showing signs of water damage because the sponge soaked it up and spread it out. And the more I realize how much maintenance homes are, it makes me want to rent and not purchase a home. Yes, I just need to order a piece of Windsor 1 beaded.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just need one piece because it's for a repair. So we're trying to replace this piece. Let me go measure it real quick.
No problem.
Because there's a 5 3/8 and then there's a 5 1/2. I want to make sure I give you the right one. 3/4. So this one is going to be the WOB as in Bravo, C as in Charlie 6.
It will probably be here tomorrow. I'll just get it in right now, and then I'll give you a call as soon as it comes in.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. A 5 1/2 and a 5 3/8, and it's hard to measure when the tongue is in the groove up there. But I did verify it's the WOBC6 because it's a 3/4 inch thick piece, which is what I measured there. So we've got our piece ordered and ready for us to come do this repair when it gets in.
Oven? I don't see those very often.
That's getting replaced?
They don't like it. So this is going to come out. We're going to fit a warming drawer in it. So I believe my width dimensions are the same, but our height is going to narrow up a little bit. Boom.
10 3/8.
10 3/8. That's the face. And maybe we'll give them a larger drawer bottom to work with here.
Yeah, because I was thinking for a second, what if we put it at the bottom and then we kind of follow that mid rail? Mm-hmm. But they might want it higher so they don't have to bend down as much. Mm-hmm. There's another house right over here that I did a repair on probably 2 months ago. That shutter right there, you can see it's still spray painted white. So they got to get the painter over there and get that going. And then we did some cabinet modification inside this beautiful house as well.
Our hearts are strong enough. We can bow cause our music's warmer than blood. Where we see enough to follow, we can hear when we are hollow. Where we keep the light we're given, we can lose and call it living. Where the sun isn't only sinking fast.
Here's our next stop where we're going to be doing these cabinet modifications. So we'll pop out here and see what's going on. Well, I already know what's going on actually. I just need to get some measurements. This client in particular, she bought this house and she wants to kind of redo it, but not completely. So she wants to like upgrade it a little bit, but not spend a lot on it because she wants to build a house, but she needs to live in one while she's building her other one. So we'll upgrade it to where she's happy with it. And then when she builds her actual house, that she's like gonna stay in forever, probably forever home, then we'll come through and probably do her carpentry stuff, but probably not her cabinetry stuff. So that's where we're at on this one. Let's go check it out. This is a pretty cool house. Some of the stuff was done bad though. It was kind of, if you ever watched our Passion for Craft podcast, I'm actually not on it anymore. I got so busy I had to quit, but we had a lot of good talks on there. So this house had some stuff that we would call Mcmansion-y, and I'll show you one over here, partially one. This mantle here, it's just really cheap looking and they made the right call to tear it out. But if you look at this millwork here, you see this is a Corinthian capital. It's got these acanthus leaves on it and it just kind of looks cheap. And this looks like a stock fluting profile that you could buy like at a big box store or like a lumber yard. It just doesn't have that quality look to it. This is all MDF boxes, which is fine, you know, if you want to save money and use MDF. I'm not a fan of it, but if she wants us to use it here, we'll use it. I personally don't like it, but you can see how it's constructed. It's just MDF, just kind of a bad layout. And I'm not saying all this just to talk trash. I'm saying it because she's correcting it. She's making the right choice. There's another one over here. I believe it's the same thing. We'll go this way. Oh no, this one's a little bit different. This one has a bigger So it's still Corinthian. It's got this big acanthus leaf here. Same flute piece, which doesn't even fit. You could see the flute sticks out past this capital here, which that neck right there should be, you know, smaller than this. This is really strange how this builds up and then stretches out so much. And then you've got what would be your architrave, I guess here. It's a little confusing to read that because technically this PM5 molding here should be your architrave, then this should be your frieze. But I rarely see it where a frieze has a step in it. Usually a frieze is just a solid piece. And again, this one has what we call a bead and reel. So you got bead, reel. And then this one just really is cheap. It's got this acanthus leaf that's like a 1/16 of an inch stamped into the wood. It's just, again, a store-bought carving. And then you got this dentil, which isn't proportional. You've got a 48 or 80-12 crown, however you call it. Colonial is what we say. It's upside down, unfortunately. And you've got another PM5 kind of upside down that doesn't have like a finishing Sima look to it. So this right here is kind of a nightmare situation of a mantle piece, of a whole build like this. I don't really have a problem with the this here, the base. To me, that looks fine. It's just everything up from there could be done a lot better. So this one will come out and maybe someone else, or we're gonna do something here, I don't know. I don't know who the contractor is on this one, so maybe they already have a trim guy. But she sought us out to do these cabinet modifications because apparently they don't do them. So let me show you what we are doing here. That's kind of the long-winded rant for the day. So we built these drawers. They're prepping them now. This is me seeing this for the first time. We redid these face frames. This is a fixed drawer. This is all paint grade. Obviously you can see the caulking line. But we redid this face frame. This face frame stayed, and we redid 6 doors here. I believe, yeah, 6 doors. We redid this here. The unit was there, but we had to build it in a little bit. It had this funky like TV mount in there. We redid that crown, and then we did these. These are really cool. They're gonna put a fabric or some type of metal in here. Oh, these are overlay, so they're not gonna set inside. So these are 1/2 inch overlay all around, and these are gonna look nice. So this whole unit here is gonna have that metal or fabric backing. And then this is kind of our next big project in here. We're gonna redo this whole closet, and I've already got a price. I'm just kind of waiting for her to green light that. But we've got a plan, we've got a rendering, we've got price. These 2 islands are gonna stay, and we're gonna redo face frames and configuration more than likely in here. So you can see what we're working with here. We've got this desk unit here with these upper cabinets. So John's gonna measure these dimensions, call them out to me. I've got a spreadsheet here of what we're working with that I can then hand to Tom, and it has all of our notes on it of what we've already got started on some of these cabinet doors and drawer fronts. So we'll get going on these. This will be desk area.
Is this 19? Yeah, because these are 17.
We got my door dimensions. If I have a door that has 2, I've got that listed right there. And then drawers, of course, and then miscellaneous, like we've got to replace a piece of flex PM5 with a shoe. This one's hinged on the bottom for a hamper. So this is kind of our list for when we go into production on these things.
Say it's here where our pieces fall in place. We can fear 'cause the feeling's fine to betray. Where our water isn't hidden, we can burn and be forgiven. Where our hands hurt from healing, we can laugh without a reason. 'Cause the sun Is it only sinking fast? And it moves and our bodies make shadows.
So back at my shop here, I turned in the dimensions. The dimensions were for me. It was really a door count and a drawer count. That's how I'm charging, per door and per drawer. So I sent that over to her. She's good with it, and we're gonna get that in production. John went to go get material. We'll probably get into that early next week because we're back at the 4 mil job tomorrow. So I've got my shop here is a mess. I've got to clean this up because we'll probably make all those doors and drawers here. This place is literally a disaster. I have been running and gunning here at my house, trying to get it ready. We're gonna put it on the market. I'm actually gonna move. I want another shop, another space really, and something that I can probably build. So I'm hoping to buy a place that has a shop already on it. There's a lot of them out here in Texas, but if I need to just buy some property with a house, and then I really would like to build a house, but that's probably not gonna be, you saw how long it took me to do that mantle. That's not gonna happen. More than likely, like 99% sure. I want to buy a house and maybe have a shop built so I can do more stuff like what I'm talking about here, about building cabinets and maybe even running my own custom mill or something. I think that would be awesome. So I need to go ahead and clean this shop up and get this stuff organized so we can get those doors in production. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this kind of vlogish style video. Let me know if you like these. I'm gonna keep doing them either way, whether you hate them or not.